Believe it or not, some of the very best four-wheel drive trips, the ones that you're going to be reliving with your mates for years to come, are the ones that are planned well ahead of time. The thing is, we can't really plan these trips without knowing what those vital pieces of information are that we need to include in our planning. One bloke who's planned and prepared more trips than just about anyone in the country is our mate Vic. Mate, what are some of the basics that people need to understand when planning for that trip of a lifetime?
You know what, Rick? If you don't put the right planning into a trip, it's going to fail. The more you put into a trip, the better it's going to be. Start at least 12 months in advance.
Wow, that long?
Yeah, because what you want to do is look at what's happening in the area you're travelling in. What's the weather doing? How hot is it? How cold does it get at night? Right, is it a wet season? Is it going to be really wet? You know, is it going to rain? If you say, okay, I want to go to the middle of the Simpson Desert and it's March, look at the temperatures, they're still 50 degrees.
Yeah,
who wants to do that, you know? So look 12 months in advance to start planning where you want to go.
A couple of the critical things, fuel and water.
Oh mate, look, if you run out of either, you're cactus, aren't you? You know, so fuel is very important. And that's something that people have trouble coming to grips with. They're not used to the great distances that we travel in the outback. You know, they say, oh mate, I can do 400k on my tank. Well, you know, some places it's 800k between fuel stops. So you're going to have to think about how much fuel you're going to have to carry and how you're going to carry that. But on top of that, if it's going through the desert, your fuel economy is going to be terrible compared to what it normally is.
What about when it comes to water? There is a rule of thumb, and it's not 1 can per man per day perhaps. Look, what is the rule of thumb?
Look, everywhere you read, all the scientific stuff says 4 litres per litres per person per day. Now look, I've been in the desert and I've done some desert crossings in March when it has been pretty warm, and look, if you're doing it without an air-conditioned vehicle, you're going to need that kind of water consumption. All right, but in your air-conditioned car, you're not going to use as much water. But can you guarantee the air conditioning's not going to fail? So you've still got to carry it.
Yeah. Thanks, Vic. Well, if you'd like more information on trip planning and preparation, why not get in touch with Vic and his team of experts at 4wd.net.au.